Hello, family and friends. Thank you for joining us again, and if it's your first time, welcome. I have done macrame for years, and then I got out of it, and I haven't done it for years. So I actually saw this on Amazon, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So I bought it, and I'm going to give it a try and see if I want to get back into macrame again. The instructions aren't exactly the best, but I think with my previous knowledge I can get through it. And I also got this cool mat from Arteza, and I'm hoping it'll help me keep the project in the camera shot, because I'm gonna try and get better this year on what I'm recording and how it's being edited and everything, but I still have so much to learn. But let's get started on the project. You start with, they supplied you with everything, which is fabulous, and I am going to first tie the string onto the dowel. As you can see, I already got one end done, just so I could remember how to do it. But let me see. I went this way, and you go. I did the cord underneath the dowel, and then I'm going to come around and under and tie it on, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. Coming from this side, I'm going to go over, and I'm going to take it through and tie it off again. And there I've got my hanger for the dowel. Now, they had you cut 7 pieces, different lengths. So this is my first piece, and it's 24 inches long. And I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to do, what do they call it, a 1/2 inch, if I recall correctly. Oh, it's called a lark's head knot. So you have this looped end, and I'm just going to bring it under and then put these 2 through. Okay. And that's how you start. Then the second cord is 20 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing. Fold it in half. Next one is 16 inches. I'm going to bring the loop under, and then these go through. I want them all to be the same. This one is, let's see, this one's 32 inches. Fold it in half. Bring my loop underneath and put your strings through. The next one is 18 inches. Again, fold it in half. Put it over the dowel. Put your loop end around the bottom, and then put your 2 cords through the loop. This one is 22 inches. Fold it in half. Put it on the dowel. Bring the loop under, and then bring your 2 cords through the loop. And the last one is 28 inches. Again, going to take your loop end, you're going to bring it under the dowel, and you're going to take your 2 loose ends and put it through that loop, and then just tighten it up. And these are the bases for your 7 feathers. And now you need to cut 26 cords 9 inches long. And that's going to start your very first feather, which will be on this cord right here. So the next step is to put these little beads on every other cord. So I've taken a separate piece of yarn. This is not the same that this is. It's a different type of yarn. It's a real thin yarn, as you can see the difference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here underneath my 2 cords, fold it in half, and if I can hang on to the bead, I'm going to thread it through, and then pull the thick yarn all the way through. And then I'm going to tighten these up. Okay, so there's one. I'm not gonna do this one. And I am gonna do this one. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put my skinny yarn underneath my bigger yarn. I'm gonna thread the skinny yarn through the middle of the bead. Through. Let's see what we can do here. If you had a crochet hook, that would probably work really well. But right now I don't know where my crochet hooks are. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull the thicker yarn through the bead, and there we go. Tighten it up. Now I'm not going to do this one, but I am going to do a bead on this one. So as you can see, a bead goes on every other strand. Same thing, double this up. I'm going to twist these together and see if they might go through a little easier. Maybe not, just give it a little help. There we go. And same thing, tie it, pull it tight, pulling the cords through, and there you go, voila. Again, I'm going to skip this one and put the last bead on the end. Now I'm going to come back to the first bead, and I'm going to start building my feathers. Now I'm going to start making the feathers. And on this side over here, I've laid them all out how they need to go onto the feather, because you're going to need to alternate them. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So on this one, you'll see that the right-hand side goes over the top. The next one that goes on, you'll see that the left hand goes over the top. And it's really important that you switch these up. And so you can see on this side, I have, this one here is the right over top, then I'm gonna go left over top, right over top, left over top, right over top, left over top, and I have these all laid out so I don't forget where I've left off. So here it is, how it was laid out. Put your thumb through it, and then you're gonna grab the strings and pull it through the loop, and then tighten it up. Pull it to the top, tighten it up. Okay, now this one is going the other direction. So now I'm going to take my other thumb, go through it. These I'm going to put to the bottom of my strings. My loop is going to go over top. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the two strings through. And this will keep it going straight, and that way you don't have a spiral going. If you didn't do this, you'd end up with a spiral, which is pretty, but that's not what we want here. Now I need to cut another 26 to start on the next feather. So I'm going to flip this one over, pull this one, and I'll start working on this. So let me get the 9-inch strings cut, and then we'll go from there. So now that I've got everything, all the yarn tied on to the main thread, now I have to comb it out. So I'm going to start one by one. Again, I'm going to flip them all up and make sure that all the yarns are out. So I can comb it out. Now, they did send me in the kit this little plastic comb, and I'm not sure that this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to do something different. So, here we go. going to start shaping the feather. Okay, there is my finished product, and it took a little bit of time, had to figure it all out. I will list how many knots I did on each of the strings so that if you decide to do this project, you will know, because they did not include that in the instructions. So until next time, make it a gorgeous day every day. Bye.